Hi guys, I'm here with Jady Nugent and she's a dietitian. So I wanted to talk all about food, which my favorite topic in the world.
Mine too.
Yes, but we're gonna talk about the healthy aspect. So tell me, why did you get into this industry?
So I've been in the industry for 13 years and it's been a long time. I started right out of university. I mean, I kind of knew what I wanted to do when I was in high school. My mom... I've always been a registered dietitian. It was funny, my mom actually came to me in grade 10 and she's like, okay, Jady, what do you want to do with your life? And I thought, I love eating, I love foods, but I love science. I'm a big science geek. And so she managed to find me the food science registered dietitian career that marries food and science together. And so I've never looked back. I've always known kind of this is my love. This is what I want to do.
Cool.
Yeah.
So as a kid, like, when I was a kid, I had a whole different idea of what I wanted to be.
Right.
As a kid, I thought I was going to be a princess. I know.
Kind of still are.
No.
I love it.
It's
I love
ridiculous. My dad used to call me princess so much.
Aww.
I thought I was going to be a princess.
Aww.
Up until I did, it was like, what, grade 1? They're like, do an assignment. I don't know why you're doing assignments in grade 1, but they're like, do an assignment of what you want to be when you grow up.
Right.
And I did an assignment of being a princess. And when I presented it, they were like, you know you can't be a princess, right? And that's how I found out. Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
that's heartbreaking. Did you cry in front of the class?
I can't remember that far, but that's when it was like very clear, like,
oh, I'm so sorry.
it happens. Kids are horrible, eh? So what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a teacher. I wanted to be a teacher like my mom. Even when I finished university and I was thinking about being a foods teacher in a high school. I even did a placement there.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, there is no way I'm going to be a high school teacher with foods. I guess for me, the students just didn't have that love and passion for the science behind it. It was more about, I'm here, let's bake something and eat something, right? So I just kind of said,
I'm over it.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
But what's great about this career as a registered dietitian, I get to still teach. I teach individually, or I teach in workshops, or I teach online when I run online groups. So
it's still deeply rooted that
I love
you got
that.
to teach.
Yeah.
I love that too.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've been doing it for 13 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
For 13 years. Yeah.
Good for you. And I know personally, you kind of touched on it. You do a lot of group seminars, group education courses. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah. So I work with organizations. So I can think of my most recent workshop, a group of young girls, and it was promoting physical education and encouraging young girls to get out and play sports and be confident, right? And not shy away because they're a girl and they feel uncomfortable with their bodies. And so I went in and did the nutrition talk. And so my topic with them was, I presented it as glowing from the inside out.
I love that.
Right? So it's talking about just healthy eating and not being caught up in what you look like on the outside, but what helps your skin glow, what helps you compete, athletic, being competitive edge. What do you eat to nourish your body?
Yeah.
What helps your hair to grow, your nails to look pretty.
Tell me.
Right? So it's inside out. So I run workshops like that. I've done presentations to a foster care agency that wanted, some of the foster care parents are coming back with kids that had allergies or food intolerances, and they didn't quite know how to feed them and what to do. So they asked me to come in and provide a presentation, and it was wonderful. It was just talking about practical tips, what healthy eating is for kids, what kids should be getting and what they should be avoiding.
Yeah.
And intolerances, so things that they could substitute that they didn't even think about, right? It's so rewarding to leave a space and have people come up after a workshop or presentation and say to me, oh my goodness, I learned so much, or thank you, that was so informative. That is my payoff.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know a few things. I love cooking. Love cooking. Baking, I love to just like throw things together and go.
Yeah.
I don't want like measure this, measure that. Can we just touch on substituting items, ingredients in terms of allergies? Because I feel like allergies run rampant nowadays.
They do.
And you were just touching on, okay, maybe you can cut out some of this and add in some of that.
Right.
Do you know any good tips or anything regarding, even if it's not regarding that, what are some good tips?
Well, I can think of even like a dairy intolerance, right? So our family, we're not huge on dairy in our home.
Okay.
So there's substitutions. So we do like almond milk, we do oat milks, but we're still ensuring that our kids are getting calcium.
Yes.
So I talk to people often about using things like chia seeds, lots of calcium coming from greens. I think people have this misconception that if you're not drinking a glass of milk that you're going to be calcium deficient, and that's not true.
Yeah.
There's lots of great foods out there. Sardines with the bones in, great source of calcium. Salmon in the can has the bones, the pressured bones, great source of calcium.
So the bones are the key.
The bones are the key. If you take the bones out, then there's no calcium.
Uh-huh.
The bones are the key. So there's those pieces, those things that you can do to substitute and add that you're not missing out on the calcium. And just substituting dairy, people are learning to make more vegan, what am I thinking about? Macaroni and cheese.
Yes.
So doing the vegan, you do like cashews, and you do like almond milk, and you can do nutritional yeast that has that kind of cheese flavor.
It does.
And you blend it
with
a little bit of cooked steamed potato, and you blend it, and it makes a nice creamy sauce. It almost looks like mac and cheese.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very creamy to your child, but the dairy isn't in it. So there's oh my goodness, Pinterest is your best friend. Like I was
Pinterest. Just talking about that the other day.
Pinterest.
Anything you want, go to Pinterest. I don't know who is posting there, but like
amazing.
It's everything.
It's everything. Everything you can think of. It's such a simple solution.
Yeah.
So I often encourage my clients to go on Pinterest.
Yes.
I'm like, if something's a little, you're not sure, I'm like, call me or text me, send me a picture of it or a link, and they can go on and say, okay, yeah, this is clear.
Yeah.
Or no, actually, this is a hidden source of this, so I don't want you to have that item.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's a good tip. Okay, so one thing that I want to talk about that I found so interesting, my mom would always try to hide nutritional food. I was a pretty good eater. Always have been a good eater, but I got 2 brothers. So she would always try and hide the nutritional food in with the things that we wanted to eat. Nowadays, I feel like it's so easy.
It is.
Can you give us some tricks, some hints? I know there's like cauliflower rice.
Yep.
I mix that in with brown rice and it all looks the same.
Absolutely.
There's like zucchini noodles.
Yep.
Anything else that you kind of do that you're like, that was easy?
You know what? I've just gotten used to, because I'm a mom. So I have 2 small boys, boys. I'm a 5-year-old and a 2.5-year-old. So for me, it's just incorporating them into what I'm doing. So whether we're going to the grocery store or whether we're using something like what we're going to show you over there very soon, it's a secret.
So excited.
Getting them to, take something off the Tower Garden like that. It's just incorporating them and trying new things. So we do things like dips. You can make little funny faces with it. Have like a dipping tray where they can experiment. You can do stuff like closing your eyes and guessing what you're eating. And just because sometimes we eat with our eyes before our mouth, right? So it's
not sometimes. That's why we overeat.
That's so
all the time.
Fair.
You know you love something, so you're just like shoveling it in because you love the taste.
But think about somebody who is a picky eater, right? It's getting yourself to start with your palate and your taste buds first before this. Because if it looks weird, it looks new.
You're not going to do it.
Right? Again, back to my Pinterest. I challenge people. I say, go to the grocery store, look around and choose something you have never touched in your entire life. Before you buy it, go on Pinterest, type that item in and see how you prepare it.
That's cool.
And it's always a produce section. Stay the longest in the produce section.
Yeah.
More and more research day in, day out. Plant nutrition, you cannot go wrong. The science is there.
Yeah.
Whether it's heart disease, whether it's diabetes, whether it's brain health, it's the omega fats and it's plant nutrition. It is what is going to cause longevity. It is what fights diseases. It is what will prevent disease. So you always see that. I don't know if you've ever seen that meme where it says you can either feed your disease or fight it.
Yeah.
Right? And plant nutrition is one of those things that fight it. There's so many elements to, you look at one piece of rhubarb and you think, oh, it's just a rhubarb. And you're like, no, there's phytonutrients, there's vitamin C, there's flavonoids, there's fiber, there's water, there's so many pieces to one piece of plant that would blow your mind. There's 10,000 phytonutrients in one apple. 10,000. It's amazing what it can do for the body.
So if there's one vegetable or plant that you feel is severely underrated, like people just pass it up like it's nothing.
Ooh, you have some great
Sorry.
questions, Chaunyce. Oh my goodness.
Because there's some of those, like rhubarb. Never had rhubarb in my life.
Beets.
Oh, I love beets.
But I hate beets.
Oh, they're so good.
And but they're underplayed. Like people will be like, oh, beets, or they might use this little topper in their salad, like about like this much. And beets are completely underplayed because
they're so earthy.
They're so earthy. They're very earthy.
Yes.
But there's so many ways that you can make them.
So
right?
many.
So one of the ways that I'm getting used to is baking. So people roasting and baking it, and then slightly sauteing with a little bit of olive oil, goat cheese, and roasted walnuts.
Oh, you saute them.
So after I roast them,
Yeah.
I slice them up, and just a little bit of olive oil, just warm them up a little so the goat cheese will start to melt on it.
Oh.
With a little bit of balsamic vinegar and roasted walnuts.
Put that on a bed of arugula.
And you're done. Adding it to your shake.
Okay.
Cutting half of a beet and adding it to your shake. Make sure you have a really raw. Make sure you have a really good blender.
Yes.
And blending it, amazing. And then what I love about the beet, what I'm getting to love more and more about it, is the top. You just cut that up and use it as a salad.
Oh, like the stem?
You buy that. When you buy that mixed green salad, sometimes you're buying the stuff people throw out. People cut it off and throw it in the garbage. And I'm like, no, you can use it as a salad.
Oh, wow. I've never.
So it's a multi-purpose. So that tall leaf you can cut up and you can eat that raw, and you can incorporate that with your other greens. It's beautiful, and it still contains a lot of phytonutrients.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Because my best friend, I tried forever to get my best friend to try beets.
Yes.
And she was like, absolutely not.
Yes.
So I was like, okay, listen, let's get you started on yellow beets.
I've never had yellow beet. Are they delicious?
They are so good. They're like less earthy. So that's like anyone who's starting out,
the intro. Okay.
Go with a yellow beet.
I got you.
So that was going to be my question. That is there a similar amount of nutrients? Because I know like the richer the color, the more nutrients typically. So my question was going to be yellow beet. Guys, let's Pinterest it. I'm going to look on something and see if there's the same amount of nutrients as there is in a yellow beet as a red beet.
We're going to see.
And if you haven't tried beets or yellow beets, amazing. Try it the way that she just recommended. I've never sauteed it.
It's very good. Very good. And even throwing it in your shake. And one of the things that you find sometimes when I've worked with athletes, they even take beet juice. Because what it does is the nitrates in the beets actually cause what we call sciencey vasodilation. So basically your blood vessels dilate. And so for an athlete, that's key, because the bigger their vessels can dilate, the more blood that can go through, the more oxygen that can be delivered, and the more competitive edge they can be. So it's one of those things that we talk with athletes about. Like, you want to up your game. If you are doing something as an endurance sport, something we need a lot of oxygen, taking a swig of beet juice just before you go in to compete, as long as your stomach can handle it.
Yeah.
It's one of those amazing things. Like, it's all these little tips.
Yeah.
And you're talking about one vegetable.
I know. We've been on beets for like 4 minutes.
One. Imagine what you can do in the produce aisle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. Even on Pinterest, like, you can just type in whatever it is and it will give you like an array. Like, if we go beets, it will be like, here's some savory beet recipes. Here's some sweet beet recipes. Here's
easy, hard, baking, raw, like
facials. Like,
it's crazy.
Pinterest is unreal.
Yeah.
So I think Pinterest is underrated.
Yes, I completely agree. I have you don't want to see.
Poor Pinterest people. They legit. No, honestly, I think Pinterest is underrated because there's so much. I love your snort. I snort as well, and people are always like, "Did you just snort?"
Oh my goodness, I totally snort sometimes.
Yeah, so do I.
Sorry.
No, not at all. I love it. Okay, so we're gonna change gears. We're gonna take a little break. Not a big one, but we're gonna change angles, and we're gonna show you something you might want to consider for your house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so welcome back. I'm going to be talking to Jady and inquiring, what is this magical thing? Tell me all about it.
So this magical thing is what we call a tower garden. So it's one of those tools that I talked about, helping to increase your plant nutrition uptake, especially with your family.
Yep.
So for those of you who like to garden, this is something that you can continue during the off season, I guess people can say. So when it gets colder here in Canada, you know, we often close down our gardens and we feel like that's the end of it, right? And it doesn't have to be. So the tower garden system is what we call an aeroponic system. So it only uses water and air. Like that's it. Like,
that's it.
That's it.
Okay.
We have a non-toxic mineral solution that we add to the water.
Okay.
And how it works is it has a little submerged pump in there that pumps the water up. The water goes up the middle and it trickles down on the inside. So all of these different plants get watered on a timer. So it's literally plug and go. So you don't have to be a perfect gardener. If you're like me, listen, sometimes I garden and I do not like the dirt all over my nails. Like if I have a manicure, why do I have to be digging out dirt to eat?
Yeah.
So no dirt involved, and it's plug and go. The kit comes with seeds, or you can get seedlings and you plunk it in. This is a normal tower. The normal tower holds about 20 plants. Okay. You can get an extension kit that you can add 8 more plants to it.
And you can put this anywhere.
So you can put it outside, you can put it inside. So these LED lights we always suggest to get with it, because you can the lights can be on a timer as well. So if you go to bed, it can go on during the night in the room that you're not in. It can be a great feature piece, like keep your light on during the day if you'd like. But the more the light, the better, because often in Canada we don't always have great direct sunlight.
Yes.
So for people who are in condos, people who are in houses, some people in condos put on their balcony if their balcony is well protected. People put in their solariums. We have schools. These are huge in schools, in science classes. So they do the tower garden and they watch plants grow. Kids watch it, they document it. Because
biology.
Yeah, because this tower grows 3 times faster than your average garden.
Wow.
So what you're seeing here is growth after just 3 weeks.
Wow.
So it grows a lot faster so that kids are able to see it. You have restaurants. So you have restaurants that have a series of tower gardens. They may have up to 10 or 15 or 20 of them. In Toronto, you often have restaurants that don't have a lot of square footage in the back. So they have rooftop tower gardens. So they have a slew of tower gardens and you go upstairs and pick fresh basil. Or fresh types of lettuce, and this is a rainbow Swiss chard, and this is sweet kale. This is bok choy. So they have a variety.
I've never seen kale like this.
It's a sweet kale. So
I
it's
love
a different
that
type of kale. And you can grow. People have grown different greens. You can grow cucumbers. You can grow bell peppers. You can grow tomatoes. I've seen people grow little mini watermelons.
Oh wow!
It's just an amazing system. Just amazing.
Okay, so I'm not sure whether you guys can see the whole thing, but we're going to tell you about the pieces. Because I know initially we were pointing down here, just so you're aware, the water is kept down here.
Yeah.
So how much water does it hold? How often are you refilling this, do you think?
So it's 20 gallons.
Times.
20 gallons of water.
Okay.
In the base. So the base fills a lot of water, but then you have wheels on the bottom that you're able to purchase, and so that moves the tower garden
really easily,
very simply. So I'm moving this very light. It's not heavy at all.
Actually, I did her a disservice. I moved it with her. She doesn't need me. Like, it moves very freely.
It's very freely. And so what you would do every day is you would open up there's a little tank here, and you just put it down and you just make sure that it's to a certain level and you just fill it. It's not very often. I think you fill it maybe every other day, every 2 days. You're just topping it up with normal water. Yeah. Just making sure that it keeps pumping, because it doesn't use, it's not like our gardens where you water it and it soaks it up into the lawn and the lawn still looks dry, the garden still looks dry the next day. Because who knows? But it comes as is and you just click it on top. Yes. Yeah. And these are the LED lights. It does not, because they're LED, they're very energy efficient. Yep. Someone in Ottawa, she mentioned that it was like $2 more on her electricity bill. Like it's so minimal. Yeah. For getting, and like I call this my farm to table. right? It's your own farm in your own house. And literally, you literally rip it off, put it together, get your kids or whomever to wash and prepare it.
Yeah.
And then you're eating it. It's right there. You know what it is. You have control over your seeds. So the seeds that get sent with this are non-genetically modified.
Nice.
And you can also purchase non-genetically modified seeds through Amazon. You can purchase seedlings. So seedlings are, you get the plants when they're just starting. There's a few non-GMO seedling companies in Ontario and a few out west that you can get them to send it to you and you just plunk it in and start growing.
That's easy.
Yeah.
I would probably be a seedling.
Yes.
Or, oh look, this one, these are the same. You guys probably can't see this, but it's really cool. This one and this one are the same, and they have grown completely differently.
Yeah.
So this one's massive and lush. This one I'm like ready to eat. This one, he's still growing.
And if you want to eat it, you can absolutely eat it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It is rainbow char.
Yeah.
Lovely. Anything else that we should know about this amazing system?
I just think it's something that it's definitely catching on for people who are, let's say, have always been gardeners. Like you can think of your empty nesters who are now downsizing, and they love their garden and they miss that fresh produce, that fresh vegetables. It's something very easy for them to purchase. You can either do a one-time payment or it's broken up over 12 months, interest-free. And you pay for it. I know people who've had tower gardens for 15 years.
Holy.
So it's not something that is built to, like a cell phone, to break down after 2 years.
Right.
It's built on on longevity. The system is built on the same system and use of the NASA engineering, the aerospace, the aeroponics system is the same technology. The person who designed it actually worked for NASA.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's been amazing. Big proponent of it. And if you want to have access and control over your own produce, and you're worried about contamination of what's,
yes,
food miles, what I call food miles, meaning that you're getting your food from Argentina or other continents, you're just not sure what they're doing with it. E. coli recalls all the time.
All the time.
This doesn't happen with this because you now have control over your own supply. So it's just a great tool that I talk to people about all the time about helping their healthy eating habits.
So my last question, I know that you were saying you can have seedlings, so they're a little bit budded already.
Yes.
That would be me. Like, I don't want to plant anything, just like water yourself and go.
Yep.
Can you, for the people that are like, I miss my garden, they probably miss getting their hands in the dirt and actually doing it.
Yes.
Is that a factor? Can they like make this little pod?
Yeah, so these pods are there inside of it. Let me see if I can click one out.
Almost. Yeah, there you go.
Sorry for the water.
Oh.
So this is one that didn't take. So there's a rock well in here. So for the people who want to get their hands dirty, it comes with a rock well. So these are like think of rock well like moss, like a very nutrient dense moss.
Yeah.
They take their seeds and they put it into each little rock well and they go in and they let it germinate. People who love that experience, and they watch it grow, and when it gets to that certain maturity, then they take it and put it into the baskets, and these baskets are reusable.
Yeah.
And then they plunk it into the tower garden system and it's ready to go.
So this could be like a hobby.
Oh, for sure it's a hobby. There's some people who are they have a territory. So you'll always find in a married couple, there's one person who just takes it over and it's like, it's their tower garden. No one touches it because they know the timer, when it's pruning, when to prune. So it's so cute. So absolutely, it's an absolute hobby, and they can experiment with what they can grow in it.
Yeah.
Like for instance, like you're learning about, like I didn't know that bell peppers, that there's a male and a female. Had no idea. Guys.
I vaguely heard about this, but I still can't tell them apart.
Had no idea.
So tell them apart again.
So it's something about I think the male has
the
like 3. Yeah, at the bottom of it. You can tell.
But, and one has 4.
Right. But when they're on the tower garden, you have to literally take a paintbrush and like a gentle paintbrush and germinate the flowers on them. Like a bee would, right? And so it's like someone who's really into this loves doing stuff like that. They'll sit there and they'll add it to this one and watch it grow. You and I will get the greens.
Like
click
grow,
and
please.
Yeah, and we cut and we trim and we eat.
That's it. Yeah, like just grow for me, and that's all I want.
And then one seed can give you produce a few times. So it's not like just one time the seed grows and then that's it. Like the kale, you can probably get about 3 heads of kale from that one seed that you're growing.
Wow.
Just amazing.
I love it. I feel like I would have all of this be basil. Like, I love a good caprese salad. I love pesto. So, like, basil, I can never get enough of.
Speaking of that,
yeah,
one last thing.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that this year we actually came out with an additional extension kit with microgreens. So for people who love microgreens or really getting into that, we have microgreen pods now that you can buy an extension kit for just microgreens that you can put in addition to this.
I love that. It's so good on like an avocado toast with a poached egg, little microgreens on top. So good. Yeah. Can you tell we love food?
Can you? Oh my goodness.
Okay, so anything else we should know about this lovely system?
If you want more information, please get in touch with me. I can absolutely point you in the right direction of where you can purchase it. It'll be delivered to your home within a few days of those who end up purchasing.
Nice.
Yeah, if you have any questions, I'm available. You'll get my email address below in the video.
Absolutely.
And so people can reach out to me if they have questions.
So yes, if you have any questions, always reach out. Thank you so much for supporting local, and don't forget, share, like, comment on any video you see. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.